Hey everybody, this is Todd.
And I'm Jill.
And welcome to the Soulful Creator Podcast. Hello there. We have our Halloween, I guess.
We are in our Halloween wear attire, orange and black.
Now she doesn't know this, but I lived in Texas for a while. She knows I lived there.
That.
But she's wearing burnt orange, which is for the Longhorns, for those who know that.
For me, it's just Halloween.
She disliked, but she looks good in that color. Anyway, we're coming to you with another, hopefully, very
great episode.
With
good stuff,
good information that you can take, and hopefully, so we're going to learn about the reality inventory today. And I think all of us, Jill could probably attest to this, as we all have started over, myself being divorced and all that good stuff, rebuilding, we also need to take an assessment of where we're at.
That's where it starts.
With everything, heart, body, soul, everything. So we're going to talk about that today. So the first question is, is who am I being, right? Mm-hmm. Who am I? What kind of person am I becoming?
Right. So it's asking yourself, to be on the soulful journey, to really understand how you're doing in your spiritual growth area. I like to call that the Soulful Scale. Where are you on the Soulful Scale? Okay, as far as your spiritual growth goes, right? Are you living with meaning and purpose, and is your soul living through you? Does it have a voice? Do you allow it to have a say? Do you listen to your soul? How good of a friend are you to your soul, right? And so to be on the soulful journey and to be a conscious creator, a soulful creator, a soul that's living full of life, full of love, has a lot to share, wants to create that and share it with the world. That's kind of what we're talking about when we say the soulful, being a soulful creator and the soulful scale. Okay. And so, the first step is to really do a reality inventory, and for you to understand that like attracts like. So whoever I'm being on the inside, the energy that I'm embodying, that life or the universe is going to give me a reflection of who I am, because how my life is an exact reflection of who I am. What's happening in my life is a reflection of what's happening on the inside as well, the energy, and my emotions and my thoughts and my beliefs. And so how we can really kind of take inventory to understand how we're doing in these different departments on our soul, on the Soulful Scale, is to first of all, take a look at your life. So we want to find out if you're creating from a place of abundance, if you're creating from a place of love and truth and wholeness, where the human and the soul are balanced together. Or am I out of balance? Am I flip-flopping around? Am I creating from a place of lack? Is that human part of me really in control? And maybe I haven't turned the wheel over to the soul, right?
Right. No, I think we've all been there. I mean, me, myself included, is that a lot of times, there are days when you feel like you're coming from a place of lack.
Absolutely.
And days when you feel a lot better, right?
That Soulful Scale can be like a roller coaster ride. I mean, there are days when you take a deep dive, you get in a wreck. I did that the other day. Again. There are days when you have to fight with your HOA, like I have been lately. And I'm like, why is this showing up? Oh. Why am I having to stand in my truth and get my HOA to be accountable for, overwatering my lawn and watering my house to the point of water damage? So, sometimes we have bad days, you guys. And yes, it's a challenge when that reality shows up and we have to ask ourselves, why is this happening? What's going on inside me where I'm creating this, right? And, Todd and I are real. We're here to be naked, vulnerable, real, to show you who we really are, who our souls are.
Naked and vulnerable.
We're going to share through our experience. And so don't think that we're perfect, because we are imperfectly perfect, just like you, just like everyone is in this human soul experience.
Flaws and all.
Yep, flaws and all. So, the Soulful Scale is really about rating your health and your wealth as well as your well-being. And so there's a couple of different categories that I like to when I'm working with a student and when I'm doing coaching, I ask them, how are you on your Soulful Scale with respect to your body? When you look at your reality of what your body is telling you about yourself, how's my energy feel today, right? How are my emotions today? Am I feeling pain? Am I feeling sadness, depression, hopelessness, despair? Or am I on the higher end of that scale where I'm feeling joy and excitement and love and peace and harmony? So, when you think about your body, there's not just our physical health, but there's our emotional health, and it kind of all starts with energy. So I like to take a look at where I am with my energy and emotions and kind of gauge that and determine, am I feeling like I have enough energy that I feel hopeful about life and that I want to get up and move and I want to go for a walk and breathe in get some air and get some sunshine? Or do I feel kind of like I want to curl up in my blankie and, hide under the sheets? Yeah. So I think when you're looking at your body, your body can give you symptoms about how you're doing on the inside with your energy and emotions.
Right. So on that scale, when people come in and they ask you, when you're asking them the question about the passion and where on that scale, what are some of the things that you have them try or do?
Well, so, for me, when I feel like my body's out of balance, I feel like my energy's low in the morning, I used to have a routine where I would, no matter what, I would get up out of bed. Well, first of all, I do a little prayer, a little meditation where I do gratitude prayer and ask for my soul's guidance when I get up in the morning. Yeah. Then I take a shot of super greens, which I buy from Sherlin's. And
we live in Utah, by the way.
Yes,
we
do.
Kind of make some references to certain places, but yeah, we're...
So it's a health food store where I just have a regimen of vitamins.
Yes.
And remember that little cruncher thingy you got me? What was that?
The vitamin
cruncher.
Vitamin cruncher.
It's like the old Indian way they used to make corn,
Yes.
Well, we take my vitamins and we crunch them up like that.
She doesn't take them very well. It doesn't it doesn't sit well with her stomach.
I don't like them. And so, my body doesn't absorb the vitamins very well. It sits in my stomach, kind of makes my stomach sore. So I find that crushing up my vitamins and putting it in my super greens, and then I shake up my super greens in a little container and just chug it like it's a shot.
Right.
And try to tell myself that it tastes good.
Right.
Lemon water is part of our routine. Squeezing a lemon. Celery juice has become part of our routine as well for cleansing.
Yes.
And then I think another thing that really helped me a lot, especially through the rough times, is just don't even think about it. Take your vitamins, get your super greens, get on the treadmill. And I used to have a song by Meghan Trainor. What's it called? Me Too.
Me Too.
You want to be me too, right? It was.
Yes.
I was into it, like building up my self-esteem.
Yeah.
So it's got this really great, crazy beat. We should put that on the front of this video.
Yes.
Anyway, and it's just all about loving yourself. I can't help loving myself, right? And so you're reprogramming your mind with all that fun music and that beat and the positive words. Yeah. And get on that treadmill and just go. And the more you're running. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes. Yes. Whenever you're walking or running, it seems like there's probably some type of science behind this. Is that you get great ideas that come to you, and it also you start. I would also start with a problem in my mind that I would ask or through my run or whatever. And by the end of the time, I would almost want to stop because I had so many ideas I wanted to write down. So it is true. The movement does get you up. It gets your energy up. It gets you thinking about
shakes up the energy. It just kind of shakes everything up. And then sometimes I'll even run to music that's like doesn't have words, so that I can meditate while I'm running. And even though it can be a fun beat, or it can be just like piano music. My kids are so embarrassed that I'm addicted to piano music, but it can be symphony, like relaxation music. Even running to that can be. I know that sounds weird to run to that, but no, it's a meditation while you're running. But and what it is, the science behind all of that is the oxygen. So the more that you're running, the more that you're moving, right? And especially if you can do that outside and get some sunshine and be out in nature as well, because you're taking in the beauty and you're taking in air, clean, fresh air, and that oxygen gets up into the brain and it helps clear out all of the foggy thinking that there's statistics behind oxygen. And when your brain cells will actually die if it goes so long without oxygen. And so that extra oxygen that you're breathing in from breathing heavy from exercising is actually what's helping you get clear on working through and solving problems or figuring out priorities or even meditating while you're running and listening to your soul. So those are some of my tips.
All right, mental health.
So, and I kind of talked a little bit about mental health with that your brain needs oxygen. But, sometimes you can find that you're in a negative thinking pattern and you're not sure why you're in this negative thinking pattern. And so I always ask myself, are my thoughts being harmful or helpful to my soul? Like, would my soul, is this healthy for my soul? Am I being nice to myself, right?
That's right.
Or are these thoughts that I have about myself being mean to my soul, right? Because my soul lives inside this body, and if I'm harsh about my body or the way that my body looks or, the shape of my body or whatever, is that really being nice when this body is what serves my soul and helps my soul accomplish what it wants to accomplish in this life? So asking yourself, whether it's harmful or helpful, and then also realizing, are my thoughts and beliefs supporting me in my journey to become my highest self? And do I have the confidence in myself that I can do whatever I want to do, and I can build the life that I deserve? Do I have that confidence level to believe in myself?
Right. I think also that gives you the clarity. When you have clarity, you have purpose. When you have purpose, you have confidence.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Physical health.
Physical health.
Talk about that.
So we kind of talked a little bit. Physical is like, how well is my body doing at moving? How well am I doing at being flexible? Remember when we were little, you could go play tennis and you could turn your body every which way and be totally fine, right? When we get older, we kind of get stiff.
You get out of bed and you're like, I need to stretch.
And we do. We need to stretch. As we've been on the planet longer. We've been grounded longer in this energy. And so to stay youthful, flexibility is really important. There's energy blocks that can get stuck if we're not stretching. Our muscles need that. And breathing through the stretches and bringing oxygen down into the cells. So stretching is super important, especially for me. I mean, I've switched my mattress recently, and, I have a lower back issue, and I've always been a runner. And I used to only feel my back when I went on a long run. And now it's almost like every morning I have to stretch. So it's just super, and I feel so much better when I feel, like I can move around with ease.
Okay. All right.
And I think, on the physical side too, you can really tell a lot about someone's health. And some of this stuff's repetitive. You guys already get this, but the whites of your eyes, are they clear? Is your skin look vibrant and plump and like it has enough hydration? Is your hair breaking off? Do you have new hair growth? I noticed in the last little while, Todd and I started doing vitamins, and I've got all this little growth all around my face because I've had some skin issues that I was overcoming a breakup and kind of ruined my skin. And so I started taking all these vitamins. Well, the interesting thing is that as I've been, rejuvenating, and by the way, sleep is super, super important for physical health, right? Because that's when we're doing the cells are rejuvenating. Yeah. And so I've noticed that the byproduct of taking my vitamins and our smoothies, we also do a smoothie that has super greens in it. It has cilantro, spirulina, we
protein,
put the blueberries,
yes.
wild blueberries,
good order,
and bananas. What else? We have collagen in there, some plant-based protein, and some oranges. Get some vitamin C and mix that all up in the blender. And I do that every morning, and that routine of the lemon water, the celery juice, the vitamins, and it seems like a lot, but we need these foods of the earth in order to rebalance the body, because the body gets out of balance and our eating habits are not aligned with holistic health, right? We're not aligned, and so getting back to the earth everything is balanced and complete.
Well, especially at our age, right? We almost have to do this.
Yep.
Given that where our habits again, or those old programs of days of old, when you turn 50, you can't do that anymore, because it's just, you want your life to extend and keep going way into the 80s and even 90s, who knows?
Yeah, and as far as physical health goes, I've realized too that, our habits are that we consume food. Most of it's man-made food, and it fills us, but it's not actually filling us with nutrition, right? And so to be soulful means to give your body the energy that it needs, not just volume. It's make the calories count. And so I think, getting back to, you and I went on the cleanse through the medical medium cleanse, and I had a great experience with that and felt very energized.
Oh, yes. And the excess weight that fell off, it was even a better,
it was a detoxing
major
program.
byproduct of it, so it totally was great. It was something that I've never even done before.
Yep.
And the energy you would get after day 3, day 1 and day 2, kind of hard. Day 3 and 4 were actually pretty good. There's actually, the energy I felt was amazing. So
yeah. So your soul really needs to have a healthy body, heart, mind, body, to work through. So if we don't give our soul a body to work with, then it can't do what it wants to do to help us fulfill our potential.
That's right. Okay, moving on to financial. Wow, big
financial
issue
wealth
for us who are rebuilding and who are starting over, right? So Jill was funny. She's like, you know what? There's so many men in their 50s who have no money. Right, because of
it's sad.
Divorce and alimony and all that stuff. So the financial side, a lot of work for us people in our 50s to do.
And women have a lot of work too. It's just more of on an emotional side. I would say that most of the women are more feel that we're broken, or that we've been through trauma and loss, and we're out there, with codependency issues, trying to figure out how to stand on our own 2 feet. And it was super scary for me when I let go of my business. It was actually one of my passions, and my husband wasn't even involved in it in the first 6 years or so. And I was building the whole thing, and he ended up with it in the divorce. So it was really, really hard and super scary for me to start over. Moving from employee to entrepreneur was definitely a little bit of a painful step. There was a lot of loss in the way that I looked at things, but I realized with my finances, when I went through the divorce and I had a settlement through the divorce, everything that I'd worked for my entire life, all in that day, you have this much of the pie and that's all you got. And you got to make it last till you're, 80 or till you die. Right. And that's a really scary concept. And so, in my marriage, my husband was really controlling when it came to the finances, and wouldn't let me have the passwords, the bank accounts, and didn't want me involved in QuickBooks, of course, because he didn't want me to know where he was spending money. So, there's issues sometimes with women where they don't get the practice of being financially independent and learning how to manage money. And so the divorce kind of gave me an opportunity to learn all about that. I mean, I had been single a little bit before I met my husband, but it came down to, what am I going to do as far as my retirement plan? And how long can I continue to work before I won't be able to get a job in sales anymore? I mean, I am over 50 competing with 25 and 35-year-olds for sales positions. So, I had to hire a financial planner, and that meant that I needed to trust a man. And do you have any idea how hard that was for me when the man that I had trusted with my life decided to, pretty much take everything? So it was super hard for me to trust again and to rebuild from the bottom up. And, it meant that I had to do the hard stuff. I had to get out there and find a career and find a job that I could build into a career. And, I have had about 3 different positions in the last 5 years, all that helped me get to where I am today, which I actually love my job at Insperity, being able to talk with business leaders and helping them make decisions on how to manage their people better, and so that their businesses can run faster and better. And so it's a great position to be in an advisory role in my current career, where I'm working with business leaders and helping them make business decisions. But it was not an easy thing, and to get a financial planner, and then I invested in some properties and learned how to diversify my income so that I had more than one income stream. Why? Because there were times that I went without having a job, and here I had this big life and a big house and a big huge house payment, and I had to get a roommate. I was like, I had to get resourceful and figure out, well, how else can I make my life work for me, and how can I share what I have financially and make that go to work for me so that I have income more than just one job bringing income in, right?
So for those out there who, let's say it's some women who are just, again, coming out of a divorce and again, for the first time, maybe they're doing the finances, their own finances.
Right.
What would be a few tips or the first things they should do, I guess, to kind of maybe get back on their feet again?
So I think, the first thing is you've got to be able to have a way of managing your bank account. And if you have a business, I had to learn QuickBooks Online, and I'm not the best. I don't enjoy money. I enjoy making money and doing the action and, building businesses and, making people happy and serving and solving problems. But actually the transaction of doing accounting is like one of my least favorite things. Yeah. Playing with numbers. I'm a people girl all the way around.
So ask for help.
Girl. Ask for help.
Sons, daughters, and sons-in-laws, obviously they're very very resourceful for you.
So I have two son-in-laws that are CPAs, and so I just said, hey, can I hire you? Can I hire you to set up my QuickBooks and help me get my business going again? And help me balance my books every, twice a year. And I hired an accountant, and I hired a financial planner. And so, I absolutely had to recognize, what am I good at? What am I not good at? And if I'm not good at, I need to have an expert on my team that's on Team Jill.
Not be afraid to ask.
Right. And then getting really resourceful. I think it's been, for me, one of the smartest things that I did, as is getting a roommate and finding I have a roommate that's another 50-year-old single, gorgeous gal that we have a lot of fun here together and in my home. And then I also have 3 tenants. So, I have some residential property and a commercial property as well. So if something happens with the market, not all of my money is tied up in stocks, right? I actually have some assets that are working for me on a daily basis to be able to increase my cash flow. So as a woman, it is challenging to have a plan, and it's scary. I had a lot of people approaching me about investing in things, doing direct loans, and I didn't want to do anything risky. So I would advise you, do not do anything risky. Make sure that, I wanted to come from an empowered position where I couldn't get hurt again, like I had like I was hurt in my marriage. And I wanted to make sure that nobody had access to my bank account information ever again, right? And that I was setting myself up for success.
Okay. Let's talk about the map. That's something that people could use as a way to kind of assess what your financial situation is.
Yeah, so MAP stands for Massive Action Plan. And so if you're not where you are wanting to be with your career or with your job, or where you are financially, maybe you want to become financially independent in the next 5 to 10 years. And the reason I say that is because to live soulfully, you need to kind of free yourself from the human game. And so to be able to work towards financial independence, then the soul can play in the realm of free agency and actually choose what the soul wants to do to make money and to make money doing what you love. And so, creating a massive action plan and really figuring out with the end in mind, where is it that I want to be? And what are the steps that I need to do to get there? And then tackling that one baby step at a time. Because living your life, soulfully and having a massive action plan is going to be able to help you have a life full of purpose and meaning. Okay.
And probably now the biggest one is the well-being, right? It's the work-life balance, right? And what do you want to share there?
Well, when it comes to rating how you're doing with your life, we've kind of already talked about how am I doing with the body that I've created? How am I doing with what is my body reflecting to me? Do I have some pounds that I need to lose weight? Or am I feeling like my energy level's low? Or am I depressed all of the time? Am I not wanting to move, right? Am I resisting moving, and why am I resisting movement? Right. And then as with my bank account, where is my bank account? Am I happy with what's being reflected back to me? Do I have a savings? Do I have a plan for retirement? If not, I need to put on my big girl panties and figure out what my plan is going to be, right? Like, I think part of being 50 is realizing that there is no knight in shining armor that's going to come ride up on a white horse and rescue you. I mean, you now are living life at the level, which is the third act of your life, answering the higher calling and saying, I will learn how to take care of myself, and I can be happy myself, and I'm not dependent on anybody, for me to love me, because I am love. Oh. I am the energy of love. And so when it comes to well-being, we can look at our relationships and say, how am I doing in the relationship department? And I had a lot of work to do here. Like, after my divorce, I was super, I think if you guys understand loss, when you're in pain, you do not want to be around people, because the misery likes company, right? We pull people down when we're miserable. And so when I was miserable and in pain, it was just really hard for me to be around my family. And so I had a lot of work to do with when the pain started to lift, and when I started to release a lot of that pain and trauma and get past that. I had a lot of work to do with reconnecting with my children, reconnecting with my grandchildren, making sure that I was building one-on-one relationships with everyone in my tribe, even looking at my relationships with the guys that I was dating. You just want to ask yourself, am I connected? Do I feel connected, or do I feel separate from everyone else? And am I sharing? Am I being vulnerable? Am I listening?
Yes.
Now it's your turn. Yes. So how are your relationships, Todd?
Well, my current one, it's going pretty well, I would say. But I think for people out there who are again, I'm just speaking from my knowledge, is that when you get divorced, or let's say you've had a big breakup, a lot of times you have a lot of stuff, right? Right. And for me, simplifying my life was a massive priority for me, because with stuff becomes memories. Right. Right. With stuff, I had this thought. It's like I have all this stuff that I want to remember, so I would just take a picture of it and then just toss it. Right.
So what a great idea.
It's
just like, make it digital.
Have the memory
disappear.
Lose the stuff. Right. So simplify. Right. Get rid of the couch. Get rid of us. I mean, you don't need it. Right. Especially because you're trying to build new memories. And we have a couple stories with Jill. Like when you get rid of stuff, it clears your mind. It clears your soul, and makes room for new memories.
Yeah, and like recently, just the other night, I mean, I go through phases. We go through layers, of loss and letting go a little bit at a time, And just recently, I've been redecorating my bedroom. I got a new mattress. I gave my girls my credit card and said, "Hey, boy, was that you guys can spend up to $2,000 to redo my bedroom." And then every day I had like a new package from Amazon arriving at my door. I had surprises, or like Santa Claus.
She would ask her kids, how much did this cost? And they're like, I don't know. So
I had to wait to look at the Amex bill. But anyways, I was wanting to get rid of old furniture from my marriage. I threw away like 30 pair of pants. I think it was like, I had like 70 pair or something. Yes. Yeah, that was like yesterday.
She still has 25 though.
Still do have a huge closet.
But she got rid of 35.
But I don't want to see the things that trigger me. I don't want to see the things that remind me of my old life. I don't want to remember what I used to weigh and then try to get back into those pants, right? I just I am who I am, and I need to celebrate who I am. And so I think when we simplify, it's like cleaning out that closet, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, those are the 5 same shirts I'm always trying to find. And there they are.
Yeah. It's amazing how many wonderful things you find when you clean out your closet.
Yeah, right? And I think that, this whole process of letting go really helps us get clear about our priorities too, and what's important to us, right?
That's true.
And so if you're hanging on to stuff, you guys, don't realize that, bring that into your consciousness that you might be hanging on, because it could harm your well-being, that you're not cleaning out that clutter and letting yourself get really clear about what's important, so that you can live a life full of purpose.
Or just do it a little bit at a time, right? Just throw a couple things away every week, whatever. I know it's hard. People they get attached to memories, and it's not like I'll go in there and just chuck everything, right? It's just a little at a time.
A little baby steps at a time.
Baby steps.
Can't eat an elephant in one bite. Nope.
That's right.
Doesn't work like that.
All right.
One more thing. Yeah, one more
Okay.
thing. I just want to recap on relationships, because relationships are so important in the spiritual journey of becoming a soulful creator. And I just wanted to state that, a way to measure how you're doing with your relationship is to ask yourself, are the relationships that I have harmful or helpful? You know, is this a toxic pattern or is it a healthy pattern? And, you know, do the people that I have around me inspire me, and do they support me in my spiritual growth or my spiritual journey, right?
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes we have to clean house with the people in our lives. And so, you know, the great exercise of your fabulous 5, who are the 5, you know, who are the 5 people that you hang around the most, right? Whether it's family or friends, who are you constantly talking, look at your texts, look at your photos. Who are the people that are right next to you? And realize that they're a reflection of you. And if you're wanting to up the game, then, you know, think about who you would like to become like, and then figure out a way to hang around them.
Yeah. So, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang around, right?
Yep.
So
this is all kind of helpful to really rate yourself, you know, on that soulful scale of how you're doing with your health, wealth, and well-being. And, you know, realize that after divorce, you know, you have a blank canvas. And you're in the process of recreating, and this can be a fun process. You know, you want to have that balance of work and life, but soulful journey doesn't have to be painful. It can be a lot of fun because, you know, it's an opportunity for you to recreate yourself and create the higher version of yourself by letting your soul, you know, come out and play.
Right. And I do think, just in closing, is that we have to know where we sit at this moment in this current reality before we can even start anything. Right.
Exactly.
So think of that. Look what you need to do as far as to get what your reality and what all the things that you need to do to get moving and to start simplifying your life. So.
Yep.
All right.
Stick with us, you guys. We got a lot more coming, and you know, starting over, rebuilding is actually pretty fun at this age because we're free.
It is.
And so stick with us. We're going to give you more and more tips as we go.
Good. All right. Have a great day.